Welcome to the More Business, More Life podcast. My name is Stephanie Vetter, and I'm here with Giovanni Godina. And today we were going to talk about the power of the nap. Yes, we love naps. And in our podcast today, we talk about how to bring naps into your life, when to do it, the benefit of it, and all that good stuff. So listen in and we'll take you through it.
All right, Stephanie, it's you and I again, rolling
Here we
with
are.
another podcast. And we have probably the most important podcast topic that we've ever had.
Bookmark this one.
Over everything else, we're going to talk about naps. It seems silly, even us, we're laughing. But I'm a huge proponent of taking naps. I wish my 4-year-old would still kind of take naps. But even for not just for kids, but for us adults as well. Um, but let's dive into it, Stephanie. Like, why do you think naps are so important, or why are you a proponent of taking naps?
It's only been the last couple of years, and it's not something I do every day, but there are times where it hits you and you're just like, I need a timeout. It's like, I need to put myself on a timeout and just slow everything down for a minute. And so I read something somewhere that, and I forgot the numbers, it's like at 10 minutes, you can wake up really refreshed. And it's like you don't have a chance to get into that deep sleep, but you do have a chance to like just slow down your breathing, like calm your nervous system, just close your eyes for a minute and be still. And then even at 20 minutes, it's still possible. Once you start getting past like that 20, 30 minutes, it gets a little bit more difficult to like pop back out. And, if this is something you were going to do on like a long lunch or something, it gets a little bit more challenging. But I've noticed there are times where I just need it. I wake up at 5 now for a while. I got off of it for a little bit, but mostly I'm a morning person. I like to be up early. It's when I feel my best. Like I get going and I'm really productive at that time. And I love stepping outside, that fresh air, just something about like being up early when it's quiet before the world really gets going. I love that. And if it's a busy day and I don't have meetings in the afternoon, sometimes it's like it all sort of catches up to you. And in order to keep going for like the second part of my day, sometimes I just need that. I just need that like 10 or 20 minutes to just recharge my batteries and keep going.
I'm right there with you, except for a little bit of reverse. I'm a night person, so I tend to go to bed late and wake up later. But it's as I'm starting to get a little bit older, I definitely feel it more these days, going to bed super late, and so taking naps or having that ability to take a nap, yeah, really, like you said, it just like helps recharge you. And yeah, you're right. It's the longer you take a nap, it's like harder because you're getting into like in a full like sleep cycle
Hmm.
kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
So we got to be careful because we don't want to start disrupting our what is it, circadian rhythm.
Hmm.
Um, but taking those, 10 to 20 minute power naps as they are, right, really help. Like when there's times when I'm just like I probably stayed up way too late and like midday I'm just like I'm crashing and I don't drink coffee or do any energy drinks or anything like that. And so the times when I'm able to take like a midday little power nap, put some like, some kind of binaural beats or some kind of music, calming music, and just like lay on the couch for a minute and like set a timer for, max like 30 minutes.
Hmm.
Like I sometimes wake up a little bit like I didn't feel like I slept or anything like that, but like I did rest, like my eyes were closed and like in a few minutes after wake up, the energy is like, okay, I can focus more. Like I have the ability to like kind of tackle more things. Whereas when I push through the days I push through, I'm like, or I don't have the ability, right? It's just a stacked
Hmm.
day.
Yeah.
Like by the time the end of the actual day, like work day, like my brain is just like mush. I'm just like, I can't make decisions. I mean, we've even been on calls or meetings and like, I'm just like, I can't form sentences. I can't make like decisions. I'm just like, like I tell
I'm
my,
full. I'm just full. Steve says that sometimes. He's like, "Are you full?" I'm like, "Yes." Like your brain, in the same way your stomach gets full when you eat too much, your brain gets full when you consume too much, and then it's like, and then you're ineffectual. And so it's actually in service of productivity to go like take a time out, take a nap. And it is nice to work from home because then, I know not everybody has that luxury. And so maybe we could talk about some ideas for somebody who can't just pull over and take a nap. But it is like the listening to your body and giving it what it needs to like take that step back so that you can take bigger leaps forward because you just, if it's like that drill battery analogy that we use, that we love to use, it's like pushing through when you're so tired, like when you're depleted, it's not, it doesn't help you, it doesn't help the project, it doesn't help your clients, it's just not a good thing to do. And again, we're not talking about like every day, and maybe some people do. I'm sure there are people, there's probably a book out there about somebody who believes in a daily nap, and that I'm open to it. I'm open to that. But yeah, I think it just is in alignment with our like take more breaks, get more done philosophy that we've adopted and works very, very well for us and actually is a prudent strategy that everybody could and should use. This is just, yeah, we're kind of giving permission outside of kindergarten to go take a nap. You need a
Well,
nap,
yeah,
sir.
it really is because I mean I think the vast majority of Americans are underslept. We don't
Mhm.
get enough sleep. A
Right.
lot of people will do the whole grind thing, right? They wake up early, they stay up late, they don't get enough sleep. And I've heard a
Right.
bunch of different studies and from other like sleep experts and stuff like that. Like it's not like, oh, I'll just catch up on the weekend, right? Like you sleep in all day on the weekend. Like it doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, I wish it did because then I'd be doing solid. But it's like you have to let your body recoup. And if you're not gonna do the full like the full like 7+ hours of sleep, and I think they
Mhm.
say like everybody's different. Like the seven is like the minimum, right? It's
Yeah.
like that's like the minimum you need to get, and no, we're nowhere near that for the vast majority of Americans. Um, but like as far as you were saying, you know, it's great for if you work from home, but yeah, it's fantastic if you have that ability, you have that flexibility. But at work, there's been some companies that have been like installed like sleeping pods,
Hmm. I've
right?
heard
So
about
that
that.
they can, yeah, so like workers can, take a break. Like I think conscious companies, and not talking about like, ones that are doing like socially conscious stuff, but just conscious companies that are aware of like the people like they work with,
Mhm.
right? They're just like they're aware that their employees are people and they have only so much energy. And if you're
Mhm.
just wringing them out for everything that you can get out of them, like you're gonna, I mean, this is why we have like a burnt out people, right?
Mhm.
Like
Yes.
people are burning out like at a younger age, whereas it wasn't as common, decades ago. Now it's like people out of high school are like, yeah, I'm done already. Like this, like this is not high school, sorry, out of like college or just like,
College.
um, one of our teachers with my daughter's co-op. She's like, she just graduated. I can't remember what field she's in, but we were talking about. She's like, yeah, I'm already done. Like, I'm already done with being behind the desk at like, 8 hour plus a day type thing. And just like, she's like, I'm done with it. Like, it's
Wow.
like burnout. It's like, yeah, it's like it's just happening a lot quicker. I mean, I think it's a lot to do with obviously the sleep, but then like our brains are always being triggered or active by something, right? It's social media stuff, or it's you're on a computer all day for the vast
Oh
majority of
yeah.
people if you don't have a blue collar, and then it's like your just mind is like constantly working, and so it's using up energy. And naps is like you talked about the battery is replugging in and charging and allowing
Hmm.
your mind to have that moment or moments to just like to come down and process or just let it not be firing like the whole time. So,
I agree. It's restorative. And, I even think you can equate it back to like when you start a new workout program. So I'm starting a new workout program, and my trainer is a really big advocate for that. She's like, sleep is part of your training. If you're not getting your 8 hours, then all the work that you're putting in is not integrating. Like your muscles are not going to grow. You're not going to be safe in the gym. Like you're more prone to get hurt. It's the same thing with our mind. Like our mind is a muscle, effectively. Like as you're learning more things, as you're doing more things, like you need that time for it to just restore, for things to integrate. And that happens when we sleep, like learning actually. And Steve talks about that a lot. a lot happens at the end of the day. Like for our workshops, we do so much throughout the day. And then it's like you don't want to necessarily go out and party or, stay up too late. Like you want to be able to get some good solid sleep so that the next day you can come in refreshed, having all that you've learned, all that is new, integrate so that you can learn more and build upon that. So it's the same thing, like how you would take care of your body when you're leveled up, like when you have a higher output, you need that time in order for like new connections to form in your
Yeah.
brain.
I just want to take a short break. And first, thank you for listening to the More Business, More Life podcast. And right now, I want to give you the most important training that I lead off with. In fact, it's the most sought after keynote speech I've done all around the world, literally from Africa to New Zealand, Australia, all around North America and other parts of the planet. And I want to give that to you free. And all you have to do is text the word life to 72,000. That's LIFE to 72000. So text the word life to 72,000 and you'll gain access to this powerful training. And there is a catch to this, and the catch is quite simple, that you have to want number one, change. If you want change in your life, then this might be for you. Number two, are you ready to take action? If you're not going to take any action, then this is probably not for you. And the third is, are you coachable? Are you willing to try new things? If you have those three things, you want change, you're willing to take action, and you're coachable, then please text life to 72,000 and we'll do our best. Whether we can help you or somebody else, our promise is that we're going to look at what's going on in your life and give you the best next step. And that might be working with us, that might be working with someone else, that might be going and reading a book, whatever it is, we're going to do the right thing for you. So let's design your life and build your abundance around that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And those are like the clients we work with, founders, CEOs, entrepreneurs, like you need to be able to, like, your main job is to have the vision and make decisions, right? Like, and you can't do that. It's like running on a lack of sleep is like being on some kind of like drug that just like slows you down because you don't have you can't fire as quickly. And so it's, yeah, like we're kind of moving into the whole sleep thing, but naps like are is part of it, right? If you're not getting that sleep, like you need to give your body that time to slow down and recover. Because
Yeah.
it is a muscle. And if you're burning it out, like it's gonna fail you. It's not gonna do, and it's like the whole thing. It's like a whole system, right? Like this, like I think like science and everything's kind of coming, and scientists are coming around to like we're a whole system. It's not just one thing. It's not just sleep's just a thing over by itself. It's not just like eating healthy and right is over here, and then exercise is over here, and like all this stuff. It's like it all comes to one. It's all interconnected. If you have a lack of sleep, it's gonna affect the food that you actually intake, and then the exercise that you get. Like it's all intertwined, and being just conscious of it and like giving yourself the best opportunity. So for, like I said, like our clients, like it's important. It's a hard thing to chew for some people, taking naps
Hmm.
when like their mantra has been just hustle, 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 grind, grind,
Yeah.
grind, right?
Caffeine or whatever. Yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
thank you for mentioning that because I was gonna talk about that too. It's like, yeah, loading yourself up with caffeine or any other kind of substances, like, isn't
Mhm.
it might for a moment might help you feel like energized and like maybe have some clarity, maybe, but in the long run, you're gonna come down and you're gonna crash even harder, right? And like
Like a false energy. Not false.
yeah,
I mean, it works. It's effective. I did it for years and I
yeah,
still enjoy coffee from time to time, but I'm definitely leaning on that less and trying to find ways to boost, like, what are some ways I could have sustainable energy throughout the day that's a little more natural and based off of like what my body is actually feeling? Because really, if we're caffeinating like throughout the day, it's just like a mask. We're just masking. So it's not truly how our body feels, and yet we're forcing it to be some type of way. And it can work and it can work for years. I wonder sometimes like what are the real long-term effects of that type of process that we go through.
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, because I mean, our bodies are amazing. Like, there's just like imagine all the stuff that we throw at it, right? Especially like when you're younger and you're out like partying, if that's something you do, like, and you're able to recover like quicker and all that stuff when you're younger. But like, yeah, it catches up to you. Like, your your body can only handle so much. And then when you start giving it the right stuff, sleep, the right kinds of food, right,
Yeah.
exercise, all that, like just how much more powerful can you be, right?
Yeah.
Um,
So what do you
yeah,
think people could do if they're not in an environment where they could go close the door and take a nap? What are some other ways do you feel like people could incorporate a break? Which really that's what it is. It's a break, right?
yeah. I mean, if you're somebody who's has to go in for work, like if you have like a long lunch break, it's like, yeah, like see if you can go to your car and like put your seat back and just like take a nap. I remember when I used to have regular 9 to 5 jobs where I had to go somewhere. Even before I knew all of this stuff, like I would just go and I would go take naps in my car just because I'm like, I'm tired. I'm just like gonna take, I'm just gonna take a nap. Or I would say if you can't even take a nap though, like do something that's off of your phone. Because I used to take before I became a photographer, and had a camera, and I would take on my 15-minute breaks or whatnot. I would go and just take photos. So like I would just be doing something else creative, like my getting my mind off of whatever it was that I was doing at the work, and then
Mm-hmm.
like having something that's more creative because it's using different parts of your brain to help kind of move things around.
Yeah.
Or like we say, take a few minutes to meditate, right? Find a bench somewhere,
That might put you
stop.
to sleep.
It might put
You're
you to sleep. Yeah,
tired.
and as long as you
I
have like
think,
a timer, I mean,
yeah. Or take a walk sometimes too, if it's like, okay, I'm not in a place where I can take a nap. And maybe you could take a nap like when you get home for 10, 15 minutes before you're going into your day, making dinner, whatever. Like maybe you could fit it in somewhere else. Doesn't have to be during like work hours. And there are other things that I know Steve has taught me a couple of techniques too of just things you can even do with your body, whether it's just jumping up and down or even doing like a body scan and like even flexing, and like holding flex and like tension in your muscles, like doing that from like your toes to up to the top of your head and then back down and like certain types of breath work. Like there are other ways to like call in and bring in energy if you can't take a nap. Um, I'm sure if we Google it, we could find those. But I know he's got some really specific techniques that I've tried too. A lot of times it's like maybe there's not necessarily a reason for you to be tired. Maybe you're just tired because of what's happening in the day or emotions or something else. It could be that you've gotten a sufficient amount of sleep, but for some reason there's like a tired and it's like, man, I really would love to take a nap right now. And maybe you can, if you have that luxury, you can do that. Or sometimes it even is just like a mindset thing. Like you almost have to tell yourself, no, like I'm not tired. I'm not tired. Like stand up, do something, move your body, change the environment. I don't know, change the thought process, change whatever else is going on so that you can kind of bring in some natural energy just to get you through. And maybe this is making us sound old to say that we want naps, but I'm telling you, it is liberating to be able to do that. And it is part of like how we've designed More Business, More Life, right? Like, and again, not that we do it every day, but we have designed it so that if that is something that we need, then that is something that we need.
yeah, no, that's a great point. Like, what was kind of mine as you're saying all that is like the naps have a negative connotation for adults, right? Because again,
Yeah.
hustle culture is all about just grind, grind, hustle, hustle. Don't take breaks. And like Steve used to say, and I think you said your dad used to says it too. Like, sleep is for dead people,
Yes.
right? But it's like it's that culture that it's lazy,
Hmm.
right? And I think we need to change and reframe it that it's not lazy, that it's important, it's healthy especially the way we live now. Like I can understand, like, way back before, like maybe the industrial revolution or something, or maybe not. That's probably more important back then when they were doing a lot of physical labor, right? We
Yeah.
do a lot of mental, like intellectual labor,
Yes.
right? Most people who are working online, we've gone away from the physical stuff, but we're using our brain, which Steve always tells that story of, you know, football player in performing in the Super Bowl versus a chess master playing chess, like who burns more calories, right? I mean, it's the chess player because the mental abilities that are going on, the mental strain that they're doing using their
Hmm.
brain, it uses more. And so
Yeah.
it's like people all day long that are making decisions or using more of the brain,
Hmm.
it wears you down. Like I know for me, as when I do my headshots, like when I have when I've done like big group shots, like maybe 20 plus people, Like by the end of that session, however long that takes me, a couple hours, 3 hours or so, like I'm spent because I'm talking the most of the time and like I'm interacting with people and that drains
Mm-hmm.
me. And like by the time I'm done with that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm mush after that. And like,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like everybody's different. So like just I think what I'm getting at here is like just notice yourself, like what drains you, what's where you're at. Like if it's 'cause yeah, maybe you got perfect sleep the night before, but maybe you're doing something that's intensive that's using up a lot of energy, whether physical
Right.
energy or mental energy. And
That's
just
true.
say like, oh, maybe I need like a little nap just to kind of recharge. And
Mm-hmm.
you'll see the world of difference that it will create for you. Anything else you got on any other tips for you? What about you? What do you think?
I guess I was just thinking, like, as you're saying that, sometimes it is an energy thing too, and it's not okay, we're like mentally or physically exhausted. And maybe this isn't as, it's not like sometimes I deal with somebody who takes my energy or, help, like I consume way too much of my energy. And sometimes it's like social energy. Sometimes it's just a lot to be putting yourself out there when you're growing your business. Like you are getting in rooms with people and you're really having to expend a lot of like social energy. And it takes a lot. And maybe from that, we don't necessarily need a nap, but it's like, oh, that was too much. I'm going to go take a nap. So it's not that. But what does come to mind as you're talking about energy is like sometimes we are in situations or we're working with people who are taking our energy. And so I guess I would just some awareness, right? Like just noticing if you think that you're feeling a lot like, oh man, I could really use a nap today. Is it based off of actual circumstances or what else is happening like in your world and in your business that is exhausting you to the point to where you do need a nap? Like, is it real? And if so, awesome, healthy, go for it. Like fully endorse a nap because it will allow you to like come back stronger and finish out your day in a good way, and you'll actually be more productive doing that as opposed to pushing through. Or the other like flip side of that coin is there something else draining your energy that maybe needs some attention and a different strategy as opposed to a nap?
For sure. That was some solid insight.
Hmm.
Well, hopefully you got some value out of today's podcast about taking naps. In the beginning, I said it's probably one of the most important things, and slightly joking, but slightly being real is very important. Your energy, your body, the way you take care of it is immensely important, and how you show up for not just yourself but for others. And taking care of, well, one of the most important things is sleep and whatnot. So. Hopefully, you got some energy out of that. And as always, choose gratitude, create freedom, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks for listening to the More Business, More Life podcast. I hope you got value. And if you did, we have so many more things for you at stevenapolitan.com. You'll be able to connect with us on social media. We are active. You can ask us questions. I look forward to having you on the next show. Until then, remember, choose gratitude and create freedom.